Good afternoon. We are continuing with a series. It's not a series actually, but yeah, we're still talking about the spirit of anger. As I said last time, people still were phoning and inquiring about the spirit of anger. And today I'm just going to talk about the situations that would lead to bitterness or anger or harboring grudges. I'm going to talk about 4 situations. Number 1 is the pain of rejection. The pain of rejection is one of the strongest factors why people have or end up with a spirit of anger or bitterness. Spirit of rejection is when a child grows up and you grow up in a safe environment and you find that after some time your parents divorce or the family breaks up, and then you end up feeling rejected, and that pain or of the pain of rejection and the torment of fear can cause a child to develop a deep sense of bitterness. When one partner is cheating, and when one partner is having extramarital affairs or is committing adultery, the other partner resort to anger and bitterness. Another pain of rejection is when you fall pregnant under the covering of love or under the name of love, and then when you fall pregnant you realize that your partner doesn't want you anymore and he rejects you. He said, that's not my child, or I'm not going to be part of your pregnancy and of that child, I'll just pay maintenance, and they walk away and you end up being rejected or falling pregnant, and you were not ready to become a mother. You're still a teenager yourself and you fall pregnant, and from overnight you were an adolescent and now you're a mother and you must take care of a child whilst you're still a child. That will result in harboring a spirit of anger and bitterness. Number 2, the reaction of unchangeable features in one's lives. One of the greatest challenges facing young people is that of accepting unchangeable features such as physical appearance, mental disability, race, brothers and sisters, families, or birth order. You know, the fact that I'm black and I can't change and be white can result in spirit of anger or bitterness or grudges. We see a lot of road rage. We see a lot of people spewing racism because we are angry. We are, especially in South Africa, we are an angry society. Apartheid has left so many wounds in us that sometimes you think about what the whites did and what the blacks did, and we are an angry society and we really need God's intervention to help us. And sometimes the fact that people will tease you. When I was growing up, I had a voice that is a male voice. You can hear it now. And people used to tease me. People used to tease me that I'm coming from a big family. My father was a polygamist and he had 34 children, and people will tease me. And that the fact that I can't change my family, I'm there and I'm child number 17, I can't change it. That would lead to bitterness and anger. Number 3, situations that lead to bitterness and anger and frustration and harboring grudges. Number 4, the grief of favoritism. When parents favor one child over another, they are not only damaging the self-worth of the child who is less appreciated, but they are also encouraging him or her to react towards the one who is favored. Favoritism is not good. It depicts an element of rejection. I remember, like I said earlier on, my father had 34 children and 6 wives. We grew up in a household where we were so many. It was like a nursery or a primary school, and you were one of those children. And my mother had her favorite, and my elder sister was a favorite. I remember when I go and ask something, my mother would say no, and my other siblings would go and my mother would say no. But when my elder sister would go, she will get whatever she wants. So we all knew in the family that my elder sister is a favorite. So we would send her to go and ask for everything, and we knew we all gonna get it and benefit. But that doesn't only affect her as a favorite, it also affects us in our relationship. I remember with my sister, we never have a good relationship because of that. I despised her and I saw her as the special one. You know, you can see it also in the Bible where Joseph's brother resented the favor Joseph received from Jacob, you know, and they ended up selling him to slavery. The 4th one is the pain of false accusation. When you are falsely accused I do a lot of prison ministry, and I find a lot of people that are falsely accused and they're sentenced and they are in prison and they're harboring anger and they want revenge. You know, sometimes in the family there's a black sheep. When money is missing, they suspect you. You're number one suspect. In the office, when there's a gossip or there's espionage, they suspect you because you are falsely accused all the time. That brings in a spirit of anger and bitterness and harboring grudges, that why am I always accused? A false accusation not only damages the one who is accused, but also stirs up anger and fury and a desire to see false accuser brought to justice. So yes, and what do? The mixture of guilt and pain that surrounds the memory of this experience triggers anger when you hear of such a thing or you face similar situations. So if you had a partner who is committing adultery, every time you start having a partner, you suspect that when they switch their phone, you suspect, because you've been there. It triggers that anger and frustration. So it is only God who can heal us. And like I say, we need to do a self-introspection and ask God to heal us. I pray that you surrender your heart to God. Psalm 55 verse 22 said, cast all your burdens unto the Lord and he will give you rest. I pray that you find strength to go to God and say, God, I have a situation that has led to anger. Either I have experienced a pain of rejection or the reaction of unchangeable features in my life, or I have experienced a grief of favoritism, or I have the pain of false accusation. And then give it to God, and God is able to hear. He is faithful and just to forgive us and to take our pains and restore it and restore us and give us love, and that we are able to stand up and forgive all situations. I pray that God will heal you and that you will take all your anger to the Lord. He is the master, he's the healer, he's a refugee, he's there to protect you. In Jesus' name, amen.